Stevie Wonder, Sunday at Christmas. So, of course, another mass shooting. Children murdered, families in disarray, worlds wrecked. And the same thing, I think that what is different about this is that instead of the shooter just being tried as a minor, he's going to be tried as an adult along with his parents, who are going to be tried. I guess they're indicted for, I think, manslaughter. 4 counts of manslaughter each, and they attempted to run. So a white couple attempted to run, gets $4,000 out of the ATM. I don't even know where they do that at, where you get $4,000, but they apparently ran to Detroit, because a white couple on 8 Mile is, I guess, pretty uncommon. I think everybody probably thought it was Eminem's mom and dad. And you can tell just what kind of parents were by how quickly they left their son in the lurch. As soon as something happened, they left. It is interesting because these kind of phenomenons happen all over the country, from Littleton, Colorado, to Parkman in Florida, to Sandy Hook in Connecticut, and they all have kind of thematically the same things. They have disaffected white males who live in Tony areas, or suburban areas with low security. They have access to weapons, ready access to weapons, and they have negligent or absent parents. It's interesting how whenever something happens in our communities, when Trayvon Martin was killed, for example, the first question the media asked at large was, where was his family? Where was his family? Why was his family there? It's interesting that we never ask that question when we see these mass shootings, and they pretty much all have the same thing. Like I said, they have a disaffected white male, they have suburban areas with low security, they have access to weapons, and they have negligent or absent parents. And it's interesting because if people purported to care about the safety of the communities like they do when, say, a black dude is jogging, I wish they was concerned about somebody writing what amounts to a manifesto in the middle class or ordering ammunition. Where are all the nosy white women when you need them? Where is Karen when you need her? Why don't they search their child's backpack as much as they check for black people's ID? It is because to them crime and crime and fear and animus look a different way. It's interesting that now, for the first time, one of the first times in history, parents are going to be charged for the deeds of their children. Matter of fact, in most states in this country, they have these laws, and these laws provide the fact that a bartender, they're called drum laws. These laws allow municipalities to criminally charge bartenders, people who serve drinks. If someone goes out, have a drinks too much, commits a crime, the bartender who serves that liquor could be charged criminally, can get a part of that charge criminally. And it's interesting that we would hold the dude who works behind the bar at Applebee's to a higher standard than we do parents. So a dude who's working at a bar during happy hour is supposed to be responsible for hundreds of people he doesn't know and how much alcohol they've had, but not parents. I think that it's interesting that we will we blame the woes of the entire black community on absent black fathers and single black mothers, but never commensurately blame the harm that those other communities cause. These young males live in homes. These homes generally have parents. These parents have access to their children's records, doors. They know what's going on with them, and instead, none of them are ever charged, and I think that is the problem. I think that if we can ask for a bartender to be responsible for the actions of patrons that he doesn't know, we should be more than able to ask that parents be responsible for the children they're supposed to know. If you don't know what's going on with your child, if you've been warned over and over again, like it's common in these cases, particularly this last case, they were worried about them. As much as 60 kids didn't come to school, and they knew that something was wrong. And the school system warned the parents, and the parents knew that they provided a gun to that child, and they knew what was going on. As a matter of fact, one of the neighbors called protective services on the parents for leaving the child alone for a long time. If we can ask pharmacists to be responsible for who they give medicine to, if we can ask bartenders to be responsible for who they give alcohol to, why don't we consistently ask parents to be responsible, even criminally, for what their children do? And they talk about, black parents, it's a single mother, it's the absent father. I don't call any of them dropping a child off at a protest with a long gun. I don't recall any of them buying a weapon for a child they knew not to be right in the head and then having that same weapon be used. If you show me, if we are supposed to be responsible for the ills of our communities and what goes on in our societies, they should be more than responsible for what goes on with theirs. And there should be more parents who are indicted because they don't know what's going on. There should be more parents. It is your charge and your responsibility not only to keep your child safe, but to keep society safe from your child. You show me a school shooter, and in general, somewhere along the way, I'll show you a bad parent. That's a little note from the GED section. We got a jazz report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.